Hey, Ford vehicles are phenomenal, but do you know the following tips and tricks that I'm going to be showing you on this video? You don't want to go anywhere. Stay tuned. Hello YouTube and social media family, welcome. My name is Jorge Lopez and I am your sales consultant here at Tomball Ford. If this is your first time tuning in and you want to learn about Ford vehicles, you want to see how-to videos and vehicle reviews, do not leave without subscribing and hitting that bell notification so that you will be notified as soon as I upload a video. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and checking a video on the Ford vehicles, how-to tips and tricks. If you own a Ford Edge that you have on your current vehicle, and hopefully this is informative to you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about some tips and tricks on the Ford Edge. First thing I want to say is that I am talking about a 2019 Ford Edge right here, but even though I am going over this vehicle's tips and tricks, a lot of these features are available on the older Ford Edge vehicles. So don't get discouraged if you think that the tips and tricks that I'm showing you on this Ford Edge do not apply for yours, but you'd be surprised, it might. First thing I want to do is talk about the front end right here. Now, just by looking at the front end, you really can't see behind the grille is something that is very important for the aerodynamical purposes, for the performance of the vehicle, and that is the active grille shutters. And I'm going to remote start the vehicle and you should see them move right there. And there you go. So they're basically shutters that go across on the grille of the vehicle. And what they do is that, for example, if you guys live in a cold climate, then basically when you remotely start your vehicle, then those shutters will close so that the engine can warm up faster and provide heat faster to the cabin itself. Some of these are equipped with a towing package. If you're towing something with it and you're on the road, these will stay open so that maximum airflow goes into the vehicle to provide better performance for you. The more air the engine receives, the better it performs. And also, if you're just coasting, you're not towing something, they might close halfway or full way to basically make it a more aerodynamical design so that you have better fuel efficiency on the Ford Edge. So that is tip number one, or trick number one, or one thing that you might not know about your Ford Edge. Okay, so tip number two has to do with the key. Now, this is a smart key. It is very intelligent. It basically tells the system if you are close by so that it can unlock and lock your doors. But what happens if the battery goes dead on this? By grabbing the handle, which I'll show you in a minute, to unlock your doors, that is not going to work. The lock and unlock button here is not going to work either, because remember, you might have a dead battery. Now, this is a very rare case where the battery goes dead on these remote controls, but it can happen. So what do? In case of a battery malfunction, if this is not working, step number one is to release a key that is within the fob itself. On these types of keys or fobs, you should have this little push button at the bottom, and that'll release this key. On the older keys, there is a little slot back over here where you can just kind of slide it one way, and then you can crack open the shell or the fob to reveal the key inside of this. I'll put a picture on the screen now, but that would be step number one. Now, what the heck do you do with this key? Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to grab the camera. I'm going to show you what to do next. Now, once you have your key removed from the fob itself, there is a little slot at the bottom. Let me see if my camera can, you can see it right there, where you insert this key and you use both hands, you push up, and with the other hand you slide this cover off. Now I kind of pried it already because I cannot do it with both hands and grab the camera at the same time, but lo and behold, you've got a slot for your key. Now remember, unlocking your doors by touching the handle is not going to work, because remember, you've got your dead battery. So this is how you can physically get into the vehicle if your remote control or your battery fob is malfunctioning and you're not able to get into the vehicle. So that is step number one. Now let's go ahead and talk about trick number 3. Now we go on the inside of the vehicle, and the other tip and trick has to do with the center console. On the center console, there's actually a slot that is not very visible, and it has some really nice features and functions, and I'm going to show you what you need to know about the center console right here. Now I've got my GoPro in there. You should be recording right now, and there it is, and I'm putting on the screen that slot that I'm talking to you about, which is this piece right here. Now this slot right here has multiple purposes. Purpose number 1 for that is to allow you to move your vehicle, drive your vehicle, remember, with a dead remote control. If you recall from the last tip, we have a dead remote control, so starting your vehicle is not going to work. So what do? You take this fob, put the key back in there, right? And you just basically place it in that tray that you can see right there, and that will allow you to start your car even with a dead remote control. Okay, now to prove this, let's go ahead and remove the battery from that fob, and this should still allow us to start this car. So let's test it out and see what I'm telling you is true. All right, and also this serves as a purpose to show you how to replace your battery if you ever wanted to. You don't have to pay anybody to do it. You can just do it yourself, because it is extremely simple. So basically, you just open up the back part of the fob and it reveals the battery. And the size of this battery, this is a Panasonic CR2450 3 volts. And you just use your little screwdriver, you pop the battery out, battery's out, and as you can see, this is not working. I'm gonna put the battery here, my screwdriver here, and let's test it out. I'm just, for the heck of it, I'm just gonna put the back cover on and this on as well. I do have both sets of keys here, and this one works. This one does not. This one works. So let's go ahead and test this out. So what I'm gonna do to make this fair is I'm gonna place this key over in this truck, as you can see right there, and we're walking to the car, and this is not working. So remember, you let yourself in manually. Okay, now the car should not start. Foot is on the brake. That is not working. It says no key is detected, but if we follow that little trick I told you, you place it back in the tray in there like so, and I'm hoping that GoPro is recording, then this should work. So let's test it out. There you go. And you can drive off in your vehicle even with a dead remote control. Now that's one thing that you can do with that with that little tray that's in here. Another thing that you can do is you can reprogram a third key. So if you want to have, you know, 3 keys total, you can use that slot to program a third key. And what I'm going to do is on the screen, I'm going to be posting directions as to how you can program a third key. You do need to have 2 program keys to program a third key, but hopefully that'll save you some money, because coming into a dealership, everything is very expensive coming into a dealership through the service department. So hopefully these little tips and tricks help you guys out. Now, another thing that you can do with that center slot on the inside is retrieve a door code. Now, this is a brand new car, and we as a dealership give you the key access code for your door. And by the way, it is a patented feature by Ford, so nobody other than Ford and Lincoln can have a keyless entry keypad on the driver's side door, which is a big deal. I use it a lot. You know, sometimes I go to the gym, I don't want to carry my keys with me, I leave them in the truck, I lock my doors, I walk away, I come back in, I punch in my code, and then I let myself in, because it unlocks the doors. Or, you know, I take my my family to the beach, I don't want to lose these keys, I leave them in here and I walk away knowing that they're safe and I have the code to let myself back in. But anyway, sometimes you buy a used car and you don't get, you know, these codes given to you. So this is a quick way that you can retrieve your door code, whether it be a Ford Edge, an older Ford Edge, or another Ford vehicle. You can follow these steps and get your door code quick. So I'm gonna grab the camera and I'm gonna show you back in that center slot. So we are back in the vehicle. I turned the vehicle off, as you can see right there. So I've got 1 key here that is operational, and the 2nd key here, and that is operational, and that's your door code for this specific vehicle. So obviously I'm not gonna show you the VIN number, because if not, then you guys, somebody I'm pretty sure would want to come in and unlock this door. But what you need to do is, first of all, insert key number 1. It doesn't matter which one, it doesn't matter which face, up or down. Then what you need to do is press the push button start. Do not touch the brake pedal or the gas. You're gonna count for about 3 seconds. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn off the car, push the button, remove that key, insert your 2nd key back into the slots, and push the start button again. And in a few seconds, it should come up on that left side of the screen, your door code. Now, bam, so there you go. There's the factory code 51359, and the original one on the code says 52359. But don't worry, because if you notice on the door pad, and if you type in, let's see, 52359, 5, 2, or 1, remember that screen on the inside said 1, so it's the same code, 359. And as you heard it, it unlocks the door. There you go. Pretty quick, simple, and easy. This little trick should save you about $100 at the dealership. Okay, so the other little tip and trick that I have for you is this button right here. Now, this might not be on all of the Ford Edges, but it is on the higher end ones. It's basically the lane keeping or the lane centering. And you press it to activate and deactivate, like you see there. You'll see the little symbol right there. Now, a lot of customers have come back to me after the years and said, man, I don't know what I did, but I have my lane keeping assist off and I really enjoy the lane keeping assist. And I tell them, well, it's this button right here. So a lot of people don't know that that is your lane keeping assist button on and off. Now, another thing that a lot of people don't know, and this is really simple, your sun visor is extendable. Now, this might be a really simple thing, but it actually might help a lot of people out, because you know, you might live in winding roads and the sun might hit you at a different angle. This will basically cover you from one side of the window to the other. Isn't that neat? Now again, this is little things right there, but a lot of people don't know stuff like this. And that's why I wanted to point it out, because if I had customers ask me questions about it, promise you, somebody out there might have another question as well. And now a lot of customers don't even know that a lot of these Ford Edge and even Expeditions and Explorers come with a power liftgate, but some of these also have a hands-free liftgate. Now, normally if you have your key with you, like I do now, if the vehicle is locked or unlocked, it will open it up. But if you guys look right there, if you see that sticker, it basically says that you do have a hands-free liftgate, and it tells you how to operate it. So let's go ahead and test it out and show you how to work the hands-free liftgate. So I tell customers that the easiest way to activate the hands-free liftgate is, first of all, you have to have the key with you or on you, right? And the purpose of having the hands-free liftgate is because you might have groceries, you know, on you. There's an airplane, groceries on you. So it's really cool to be able to just kind of swipe underneath the bumper and have your power liftgate open up hands-free. Drop in your stuff, and all I tell customers is kind of go in and swipe to one of the side. It doesn't matter left or right, and it should work 100% of the time. So check that sticker out. If you have it, you have the hands-free liftgate. Okay, so the next little tip that I want to share with you is called global window. And I know that a lot of manufacturers have this, but like I said, you might not know that your Ford Edge or SUV has this feature, and I absolutely love showing it, especially during our summer hot as heck months. We get temperatures over 100 degrees, but what makes it even worse, guys, is the humidity. My God, the humidity here is just horrible. And when you put those two things together, it's just sticky, hot, ugly, nasty mess. So I love this feature, and I love showing it because it allows for ventilation for the hot air to get out of the vehicle before you get into it. So what you do real quick is you hit the unlock button and release, and then you press and hold the unlock button so that the windows roll down like so. You're holding the unlock button down, and voila. Now your hot air is going through, filtering through. Outside of the vehicle, your cool air is coming in, and then if you remotely start your vehicle shortly thereafter, you'll have some nice, cool, comfortable climate when you get into this vehicle. Now, again, I'm showcasing a 2019, but this feature is available on most Ford SUVs and cars. But unfortunately, and I hate this, unfortunately it is not available on the F-150s. I don't know why global windows is not available on the F-150s, our #1 selling vehicle. But hey, it is what it is. Global window, there's your other tip. Now the last thing I want to go over with is the active park assist. So that button right there, and again, this is something that might not be on every single SUV or car, but I wanted to show it to you because a lot of people don't know how that works. So you can go ahead and parallel park, like you see there. You can perpendicular park. You can parallel park out as well. So that's pretty neat. And you know what? I think I'm gonna try to see if I can perpendicular park and see. Let's see if I can find a spot. Well, first of all, I have to close my door. Oh, but there's a spot right there. Let's see if this car can park in that parking spot. Now, this would be a really cool experiment. Let's test it out. Okay, so let's try this. Let's go ahead and activate the system. Let's go ahead and select that we want a perpendicular park. And we are going to be using the turn signal. So as you can see, it's going to be looking for the left-hand side, which is that spot right there. Let's see if we can make this to work. Ooh, space found. Please drive forward. Stop. shift, spaceman, release, shift and reverse. Bam, moment of truth. Okay, my backup camera showing. My steering wheel is doing all the work. Now this is really cool. Now it's gonna have to do it in 2 steps. So as you can see right there, I'm close. It didn't make it in 1 step, so I have to drive forward. Now the steering wheel is doing, computer's doing all the work for the steering. I'm controlling the gassing brake and shifting in reverse. And there it is. I'm hands-free. One camera, one hand holding the camera, the other hand off the steering wheel. Let's see how it does. Doing okay there. This is a very cool experiment. And look at that, guys. Man, it did it perfect. Checkered flag means it's done. Look at that, good space right there. And good space right there. Well, good job, Ford. Let's put back in park. That way I don't have an accident. Isn't that neat? This was really cool. This was a very cool experiment, but if you have the parking assist, it will definitely make life a lot easier. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. These are just a few tips and tricks that I wanted to share with you today regarding the Ford Edge, and it was my pleasure bringing them to you. I know that some of these might save you some money. Some of these might basically bring something to the table that you didn't know your Ford Edge or a Ford SUV had. And if you found this video informative, give us a like. We love the likes, and if you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. And comment below. I read every single comment and I respond back to you in a timely manner. And again, I am your sales consultant here at Tomball Ford. If I can help you with a vehicle purchase, don't hesitate. Call me today, message me, go to my website. Love to help you. All right, that wraps this video up. We'll see you next time. Have a blessed day.